We have an exclusive interview now with Senator Kamala Harris. She's a rising star in the Democratic Party, taking a hard look at jumping into the race for president, and out this morning with two new books, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey, and a children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere. Kamala Harris, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in.
Great to be with you, George. Thank you.
So at the beginning of the program, we had Vice President Pence on the program, President Trump speaking in prime time tonight about the border issue and the government shutdown. Vice President's basic point, Democrats are ignoring a crisis, and says the president really is considering declaring a national emergency to go around Congress. Your response?
It's just not true. It's just simply not true. There was a bipartisan effort out of the United States Senate and the United States Congress to pass a funding of the government, and the president is holding it up because of his vanity project, which is this wall, at taxpayers' expense and at the expense of hundreds of thousands of workers who are working every day without being paid. So it's just simply not true. It's an emergency of his own creating.
But if he declares this national emergency, is there anything you can do to stop him?
Well, you know, I think that there's no question that we will litigate, and there will be litigation. These are moments in our country where the beauty of the design of our democracy is being tested. And if you think about our democracy or the republic as being a tabletop standing on four legs, there are three independent co-equal branches of government and a free and independent press. And so what is happening over and over again in the last 2 years is those other branches of government and the courts and the press will put the checks and balances on the outrageous conduct of this administration. If he declares an emergency, I think that we will see, again, the checks and balances kick in, and in particular through the courts.
No secret that you're looking at a run for president. I guess you haven't decided yet, unless you want to announce right now.
I'm not going to decide right now.
Okay. But, you know, anyone who runs has to answer this first big question. What can I bring to the White House that no one else can bring? Why should I be president right now? What's the answer?
Well, I think we're at an inflection moment, not only in the history of our country, but in the history of our world. There's a lot that is in flux. There is a lot that is changing. We have emerging and descending economies, the impact of technology and automation, climate change, populations are shifting. There is so much happening in our world right now. And there are a lot of people who rightly feel displaced and are wondering, where do they belong? Are they relevant? Are they seen? Are we thinking about them? And I think that it is clear to me that what we need in this country is leadership that has a vision of the future in which everyone can see themselves. And part of why I wrote the book is to also understand that in this moment there are a lot of people that are distrustful of their government and its institutions and leaders. And in order to build relationships of trust, we must speak truth. And we must speak truth about issues that relate to the economic hardship that so many American families are experiencing. We must speak truth about issues that relate to civil rights, issues that relate to what we need to do around a real education system in this country that works for all children and all families. And I wrote the book also not only to speak those truths, but to really explain where my perspective comes from. You know, I was raised by a very strong mother who instilled in us great values that really have informed a lot of the work I do.
Yeah, she's the star of both your books.
She is. She actually is.
And at the very end of this book, you say whenever you're faced with a hard decision, you think, what would Mommy think?
That's true. And that is what we always called her, Mommy.
So what would she think about all this?
I think that she would say, what is going on down there? It is a hot mess.
And Kamala has to fix it?
And, well, yeah, I mean, I was raised that when you see a problem, you don't complain about it, you go and you do something about it. I was raised, you know, my mother, I would get so upset at her when I got older. I'd say, you know, I would come home with a problem. Other parents would say, oh, darling, I'll take care of it. My mother, the first thing she would do, she would look at us and she'd say, well, what did you do? So I think this is that moment. And I believe for all of us, history will say, and our children and our grandchildren will ask, at that inflection moment, where were you? And what did you do in service of your family, your neighborhood, your community, and your country?
We will be waiting for your answer. The book is The Truths We Hold. Senator Kamala Harris, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it.
And Truths We Hold, An American Journey, and our book, children's book, Superheroes Are Everywhere, are out right now. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.